welcome to another Helpful Seasonal Source video. Today we're going to dive into all of the essentials of our A items. So bulbs, strands, greenery, wire, and we'll talk over all of the options that you have there so you can be a holiday lighting pro. Let's start with the star of the show in our industry. This will be your C9 and your C7 bulb. These are the workhorse of holiday lighting. You will use these to illuminate every project that you do. The main difference lies in the size. As you can see, the C9 bulb is a much larger bulb. The C7 bulb is going to be smaller. Whether you use the C9 or the C7 is going to be regional preferences, so make sure you understand which bulb your region uses. Both of these bulbs use SMD technology, which stands for surface mount diode, and that just explains the inner workings of the bulb. And what it actually allows for you that you can visibly see is it creates a very bright bulb, which, side note, you can use a dimmer with it, and it creates 360-degree light efficacy, which basically just means when it's shining up on the roof line that it has an even output of light from all angles of the bulb. Other helpful things to know about these bulbs is they have really low wattage compared to other bulbs, whether it's big box brands or even other professional brands. A C9 bulb is only 0.58 watts, which slashes energy bills for the homeowner or the end user, and it allows you to do further runs. You can go up to 800 feet with a C9 strand, which makes installation a breeze. Also, both the C9 and the C7 bulb are rated for 60,000 hours of lifetime usage, which means they'll last 7 to 10 years, which is much longer than any retail product you'll find. Okay, as far as colors go, you have a couple colors that are going to be your most popular by far. Your first is your sun warm white, your pure white, then your red, your green, and your blue. Those are going to be your most popular, but as you can see, there are all kinds of colors for different creative displays. There's pink, teal, purple, there's lime green, all kinds of colors. One other thing to note is while the faceted bulb is the most popular by far, if you are going for more of a traditional incandescent look, you can always go with a filament bulb, which is actually an LED bulb, but is made to look like a traditional incandescent bulb. Now let's talk socket wire. Socket wire will come mainly in two different lengths. The first is the 1,000-foot spool, and then you also have a 100-foot stringer. There are two options when it comes to jacket thickness or insulation, and that's called SPT1 and SPT2. SPT1 is going to be a thinner jacket, SPT2 is a thicker jacket. The gauge of the wire is actually the same, it really is just the insulation in the jacket around the wire. SPT1 in 95% of markets is going to be preferred, but just know that SPT2 is available for those installers that would like that. You have a couple other options when it comes to your socket wire. The first is color. Green is by far going to be your hands down most popular color, but it's also available in white, and as a special order item, you can also get it in black. The other component is the spacing between sockets. Your standard spacing is going to be 12 inches from socket to socket, but you can also order these in 15-inch and 18-inch selections as well. Okay, you'll notice that whether it's the spool or the strand, it does not come with bulbs. Because you're customizing all of your projects, you'll buy the wire separate from the bulbs, and then you simply just thread those in and out when you go to install. A couple other things to know about this wire is on the stringers, it does come with a 20-foot lead and a male plug attached. If you do need to cut this by any means, you can. On this spool, there are no plugs attached to it, as you will likely be cutting that at various lengths. So if you're buying the spool, make sure that you buy plug-ins to go with it. Now let's shift our focus to mini lights. We offer two different versions, our premium and our Dura-Bright. The only difference between them is the thickness of the husk around the light. These strands are all 23.5 feet in length, but you have two different options as far as spacing between the lights. You have a 4-inch option, which gives you 70 lights on a strand, or you have a 6-inch option, which gives you 50 lights on a strand. Again, the same thing applies with strands as bulbs. Your most popular colors are going to be your sun warm white, your pure white, red, green, and blue, with all the other options available as needed, like purple and teal and pink and so forth. The different styles of strands are 5 mm, they have a very short lens. Your G12, these are also called raspberry strands. Then you have your M5. This is more of like the traditional look you might be used to. And then you have a C6 option. And this is kind of like a little mini roofline light. Your most popular option is definitely going to be the 5mm. Installers prefer this because as you're branch wrapping trees, the short lens stays out of the way and doesn't get tangled or smashed. After 5mm, I would say G12 is definitely your most popular after that. Another option that we have that's really fun for wrapping trees and bushes is these sensation strands. They're a 5mm strand, but as you can see, they have different color variations on it. This one's blue, red, green. They come in a lot of different fun color options and makes for a great effect when you are fully wrapping a tree or a shrub or something like that. The most important part about these strands that set it apart as a professional product is going to be this little green box at the beginning of the strand. It's called the rectifier. What this rectifier does is make sure that these strands will never flicker, so you'll always have a strong, steady, bright light. The other job that the rectifier does is it ensures that if one light happens to go out, that the rest of the strand will continue to work. So you don't have to worry about necessarily replacing the whole thing. These lights are also rated for 50,000 hours, so they'll last you many, many years. Next up is greenery, the delightful garnish for any installation. It is available in unlit or lit, as well as a decorated version, lit or unlit. With the decorated, you'll see it has pine cones and berries for a nice flare during the day. Our greenery comes in 3 different types. You have your garland, teardrop garland, and your wreath. The wreath comes in 5 different sizes: 24-inch, 36, 48, 60, and 72-inch. This is the 36-inch. Wreaths are great to add a nice touch during the day, and you can put them almost anywhere. You can put them on peaks and gables, on windows, entryways, gates, pillars, all kinds of places. Next, you have your teardrop garland. These are a unique shape. You'll see they're fatter at the top and they get skinnier as you go down. These are great for pillars, lamp posts, especially for municipal or commercial applications, garage light sconces, anything like that. These add a nice touch. Then you have your garland. These are 9 feet long, and you can wrap these around posts. You can put them on lamp posts. You can line entryways with them. Really, they're a very versatile item. The 3 things that sets this greenery apart as professional greenery is going to be light count, tip count, and type of material. So with the lights, all that light count means is that is the exact number of lights that is on one piece of greenery. The lights are also all UL and CUL listed, so they'll meet those ratings. And it's important to note that these lights also have the rectifier on them, which is going to make sure that they don't flicker and that if one light goes out, the rest of the strand will continue to work. Tip count refers to the actual number of little pieces of tips on the greenery. Again, this is going to be a higher count than you'll find on a non-professional product. And that concludes our in-depth exploration of Seasonal Source A items. These are the items that will light up your displays. Stay tuned for part 2, which will go over all the accessories that make installation a breeze. Visit seasonalsource.com to view our online catalog, to see our full line of product, as well as all the specs and details you'll need to know. Thanks for joining us on this illuminating journey.